Hi everyone, it's Nicki here and welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm an editor and author, and today I'm here on the blog to tell you about my latest release. This is an fantasy novella and it's called Cursed with Claws. As I'm starting to do this year, I'm first of all going to do you a little introduction to the story in the form of answering a few questions, and then I will read you a short excerpt. So, question 1, briefly introduce the story. This is a story with a sort of fairy tale feel. Excuse me. It's fantasy and it's got dragons. And it's set in a kind of mock medieval period, I guess you'd say, a historical fantasy. Question 2, what inspired you to write this piece? This piece was actually written for a call that I saw on Lesson 3 Press. One of their collection calls, so these stories will all be produced individually, but all around the same theme, which was dragons and their horde. So this isn't one where I got sudden inspiration. This is one where I saw the call, thought about it, and the story idea came to me. There was no particular spark, I guess you'd say. It is just a bit of careful pondering over a couple of days, and I knew I wanted to do it with a sort of fairy tale twist. And the story grew from there. 3, what are the main themes? Redemption is probably the major theme in this one. The idea that you can atone for past crimes. Number 4, introduce your main characters. Ode is a simple farmer until one day he ends up being the sacrifice to a dragon who lives up on top of the mountain. It's a selfless act. His sister is actually chosen to be the sacrifice and he takes her place. Our other character, Elric, is much higher born, but he has a slightly dubious past. He's done some bad things and he's paying the consequences for that now. So at the time we meet him, he's pretty downtrodden. He thinks there's no hope for him, but maybe that will change when he and Oda come together. Question 5, your favourite thing about writing the story. I really did come to love the idea, and I loved Elric as a character in particular. He's quite complicated in a way. There's a lot going on in his past, so his thought process is often conflicted with current feeling and past thoughts and things like that. So he was very interesting and fun to write. 6, what difficulties did you encounter writing this story? I can't particularly think of any in terms of writing it. At editing time, I had written a lot of archaic language into the story, which my editor did want cut, and I was a little bit unhappy about that at first, but I mean I can see that maybe it would alienate some readers if they're not used to seeing it, so I'm sure it was a good choice overall, but that was the only difficulty I had, like making myself let go of all my thous and these. And finally, where can readers find your book? This book is available from Lesson 3 Press's website, as well as all the usual retailers such as Amazon, Kobo and the like. So do have a look. I will put a link under this video as soon as it's up to my blog post about the release, which will include some of the buy links for you. So without any further ado, let me read a very quick excerpt from the story. The dragon advanced, its dagger-like claws clicking against the stone with each step, and Oda shuffled away on his backside, not daring to stand and draw attention to himself. He glanced at the door, but it seemed a great distance, and running did not strike him as the best option. Many predators would take that as a sign of weakness and strike. Besides, his little legs would never outdistance so large an adversary, even without taking into account the span of those wings and the length of that tail. The moment drew out. For every step forward the dragon took, Oda shifted at equal distance back. The chamber was wide, but even so it was only a matter of time before his back hit the wall, leaving him nowhere else to go. So far the dragon had shown no inclination to attack, but with Oda's retreat blocked, it drew ever closer. Oda cringed as the beast lowered its head, the tip of its snout almost touching his chest. The puff of blistering air was painfully hot against his skin. It pinned him to the rock face. Had he been standing, he suspected it would have knocked him to the ground. How would it happen? A stab with either tail or claw? Or was he about to meet a fiery end? Though every instinct screamed at him to seek a way out, to fight for survival, he turned his thoughts to Mallow. He had done this for her, and now, regardless of the terror that gripped his heart, he was doubly happy to have made the sacrifice. he would not like to think of her trapped here with this monster. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to hear more, do check out the book. As I said, I'll pop some links below. And I look forward to seeing you all again very soon when I have another new release. Bye for now.